All right, let's get this to stay on this on this here soccer goal tripod. So, my name is Evan Strong, and I make videos like this, geared around usually the lacing of our shoes, the tying of our shoes, and the things within the clothing that we wear in modern 2024. Today's the 20th of September 2024, and I discuss, because I can speak for people across the globe, since we are all universally designed in the image of our living God, who is Jesus Christ. That is how you can sit within an anatomy class and learn the workings of the human body, and it can apply to other humans. We are all universally designed within our very slight differences, right? If you have had a surgery, a deformity, or any kind of major injury that has altered your body, that's okay, that's your very specific case. But I can speak for people, and I do, to help through free content like this video here. And I normally discuss free modifications that you can make within the clothing that you already own with nothing but a pair of scissors to allow it to work for you rather than you having to work around it. I have a very basic few prerequisites that I always state, and that is to lace your shoes with my technique, which is within where my videos are placed, where you are seeing this. That includes tying your shoes evenly from the outside over toward the inside on both sides, just to allow the foot to function how it naturally would. It allows the shoe that you wear to fit on the foot as a glove does on the hand, to allow the functionality while still having protection. So yes, pairing that with removing the tags stemming from inside of those shoes, usually in the tongues of them, up through the entirety of everything that you place on your body. And I have gone into very great depth within these videos, content that I've made, place where this is, on what each and everything within clothing does, and all of those tags in their positions, what they do to the human body. So, in its natural workings, the natural human design. I said I went over everything that the clothing does. That's not quite true. What I mean is I've gone over all of the tags, all of their placements, all of the discrepancies left and right, front to back within clothing, and I've described it all in very great depth to where there is zero dispute. This is universal truth for all humans across the globe. So anyway, those are my prerequisites to just allow the body to have a chance to function normally, okay? You can go within where my content is and find a lot of things, such as the natural functionings of the human body just by itself, and how each and every item of clothing, at least foundational things, pants and shirts and shoes and socks, how they affect the body, and again, undisputed truth of what they do to the natural workings of the human body. So, I will be designing clothing. I'll talk about more toward the end. Minimal clothing made out of 100% natural materials. We'll get to that toward the end. But when we talk about the body being imbalanced, being out of its natural center line and its natural workings and natural functionings, right? One thing we need to realize, and one thing I've talked about many, many times, is the jaw stabilizes the entire body, okay? And it does that to a great degree. So I've gone over how dental work can affect the body's natural alignment. I've talked about the jaw a lot. I've talked about how neck pain and neck stiffness is stemmed a lot of times from the jaw. Really, it's from an imbalance somewhere else, unless it is dental work. But then it's altering the way that the jaw sits, stiffening things that are around the jaw. The neck muscles come into the jaw. Breathing happens through neck muscles. The head is stabilized through the jaw. As you walk, even the entire body, the jaw plays into it. So I've talked about that, but what's very important to see is when we eat food, it's kind of like doing a workout for the jaw, right? I've heard before, I don't know how much of it was just kind of like it's similar or how much of it's actually that easy or what, but I've heard that the human jaw, the teeth, can bite off your own finger about as easy as you bite through a carrot. I don't know if that's kind of, just metaphoric, like it's easy to bite your own finger off or what, but the point being, the jaw is very, very strong, and we know that because we eat things that we can chew through quite easily. So when you are eating, you're just doing motions with the jaw again and again and again and again. Like if you were doing a curl, for the bicep, again and again and again and again, every time you chew, right? So you're training all the muscles within the jaw here. They go up into the head, muscles within the neck, muscles down into here. There's a lot, anything that if you move your own jaw and you can feel something happening, all that's being incorporated while you chew. So when we do eat food, okay, I always talk about the body as being a position. I don't stretch. I say that we should not have to unless something very major happens. I say that we should not have to exercise just to get exercise in. I say that we should not have to work out to get up to a certain capability level because the body just is designed to operate and it does it well until restricted, right? I make these bold claims, but they are true. So most people are just so out of touch, as I was up until recent, right, that we don't really realize these things are true and as simple as they are. But I always talk about the body being about a position, right? It's about a natural functioning position. I did a video called "The Body Only Has One Position," and it sounds kind of weird, but it's true, right? So the body has a natural center functioning position that it operates out of. And from there, it can hinge and it can pivot and it can move. Now, when we eat food, I've talked about before how sitting on chairs is so very unnatural for the human body. I've gone into it in very great depth. You can go find that within my content. But we normally sit on chairs to eat in 2024, in the United States of America at least, with just about a 90-degree bend or very close to it within the knees and the hips. A very unnatural position for the human body to even be in at all. And then we're training our jaw in that position, right? So when I talk about things within clothing such as tags, if your jaw wants to work in a natural neutral position and it wants to stabilize the body in that position, and you have tags placed within your clothing that alter that position, and you're eating with that clothing on your body, now you're training your jaw in a very unnatural position and you're ingraining a patterning into it. So that travels throughout the rest of your life. And your jaw then is trying to stabilize your body, being trained in an imbalance. So when we eat food, it's very important to have the body in its natural functioning position. When I talked about it only has one position, keep the body in its one position and eat, okay? That way when you're training the muscles, not intentionally, we shouldn't really have to train our muscles to do anything. The body is designed to work. But when you're eating, you're just doing repetitions with the jaw. When you are doing that, you are then doing it in a natural position, and then the body will continue that position and carry it through the rest of your life, waking and sleeping, right? So, because that's another thing to mention is if you're eating food in a position like this, bent over at a counter, in external rotation, I understand my arms are kind of in, but I'm in external rotation here rather than being going within where my content is placed. But when we're eating, a lot of times we're in a very imbalance anyway, especially because we're eating with one hand, we're holding things unnaturally, our body's twisted, we are sitting where our lower body is in an unnatural position, and again, the jaw's trying to stabilize everything. And we've got tags within the clothing, placing us even more unnatural, ingraining a position that is imbalanced. So when we do eat food, it is very important, as it is to do anything within life. That's what my whole entire approach to anything, that's the whole point of me making any of these videos, is to get our bodies into their natural functioning position. I have never, up until today, the 20th of September 2024, and even in this video I will not give a single exercise or stretch. Nothing. No routines, nothing. Never have I done that in these videos. Never. Because we don't have to work our bodies out. Our bodies just will do their thing. So when we eat, we need to do it in a natural way. We need to do everything to the best of our abilities in a natural way. Otherwise, we're telling our bodies what to do without really trying to, and we can't do that. Not I, nor he or she, on any part of the globe, any human to ever live. We can't tell our bodies what to do because we did not design them, okay? They only work how they work. And I've gone into all of this in very, very, very great depth. So when we do eat food, try to take the things that you've learned within my content, universal truth of the universal human design, not an opinion of mine. I just show ways to allow the body to be natural and to stop altering it. That's all that we have to do. We don't have to get it to do something. We just have to stop telling it to do things that it doesn't do. So take things like that, what you've learned within my content, and allow your body to start to get back into its natural position on its own. It will do it. You might have to release some stuck muscles and scar tissue, but those aren't exercises. That's bound up things that just need to be released back to their natural state. So take things that I've shown, that I've said, that I've shared freely, and get your body closer to its natural position, ideally to its natural position, but it just means as you are doing that, then eat in these natural positions, again, the only way that the body functions, and try to stay centered as you eat. Try to keep your pelvis in a proper position as you eat. Try to keep your shoulders in a natural, proper position, natural also with the pelvis, not just proper, natural, just the way that it would work. Try to keep everything how it would be as you do anything that you do, and it will work well. Because it's designed to only do it that way, and it does it very well that way, but it needs to be allowed to. So, because a lot of times people will be just doing their daily life activities that are also just already very unnatural, and while they are doing those things, they are eating in positions that are just so far from, again, the only way that the body actually functions. You may be doing them so you're like, oh, I can tell my body what to do. You can try all you want, but then you can go have fun with your foam roller and your stretching routines. If you just let your body do what it will do, you don't have to do those things. I'm living proof of that. Again, this is universal human truth within our own situations. So we need to just allow our bodies to do what it does in the positions it wants to, in the way that it wants to, using the amount of energy that it would do on its own, and then it just works very, very well. Even if you do have things, that's another important thing to say. Even if you do have things within your own situation that are personal to you, even with those, your body still operates so much better than you could possibly know, as long as there are things you are doing to inhibit its natural operation. That's all we do, is take things away. So, when we eat, try to keep the body in a natural, neutral, centered, balanced, active position, not by being conscious of it, but just by taking away the things that aren't allowing it to do what it would naturally do. It's very important. So, with that being said, taking things away, my clothing that I mentioned at the beginning, it will be minimal. Very minimal, as far as we will not even have a single logo of ours or a branding at all on the exterior of it anywhere. Minimal clothing, okay? Made out of 100% natural materials, just to allow the body to function. It will sit where I know that the clothing on the universal human design needs to sit. Again, about the skeletal system. It's nothing to do with how big or small, tall or short, fat or muscular or skinny or whatever it could be. It's nothing to do with any of that. It's the skeletal system, the positioning of the human body. So I will incorporate things like seams on the top sitting behind the shoulders, seams at the edges sitting at the edges of the shoulders, just to allow the body to hinge and pivot and work as it does. Pants up off of the hips, very slightly higher in the front than in the rear. Things that I have gone over in very great depth in my content that is placed where this is, okay? So that clothing will be coming when it comes time to purchase it. If you'd like to, just make sure that you do it in a size that actually fits you, because that is the whole intent. Otherwise, at least here in the United States of America, there's a massive amount of abundance of clothing, most of it being very, 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 very bad for the human body. We don't need more clothing, we just need things that work for us. So that's what my clothing will do. There will be no tags sticking out of it, protruding in ways that are just altering the human body. It's going to be just natural. You can purchase it, I can get it, and it can just work for the body. We place it on and we're done. We go through our lives as we would without being altered, which is something we're actually kind of like used to doing, and being is altered by the modern world when the body only works the way that it works. So it's kind of strange, but we've just lost touch. So that's what my clothing will do. Again, my name is Evan Strong. check out my content if you'd like to, stick around for clothing if you'd like to, and this is why it's very important to just try to keep the body in a natural position while you eat, such as it is also doing anything, because again, the body only has its one working, its one position. It only does what it does. So, okay. Thank you.